You're watching CS9 right here, right now. The following program is not suitable for children. Parental guidance is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, Saturday, September 26, will be remembered as one of the worst disasters in recent history. Typhoon Ondoy laid waste to the entire city. After the deluge, hundreds and thousands of our kababayans were left homeless. In the aftermath, the nation besieged began to reconstruct what was destroyed. Volunteers came forward and showed solidarity as they heeded the call from countless victims of the typhoon. And from the sport that we all love, this is basketball's way of heeding the call. We welcome you to Pinoy Basketball Kakampi, the charity games for the victims of Typhoon Ondoy. And now, please welcome the participating teams. Ang Kakapinyo mula sa Collegiate Leagues, please welcome the NCAA UAAP Volunteer Team. Number 4, Alan Mangahas. Number 6, Mark De Guzman. Number 6, Mark Sarangay. Number 7, Woody Cole. Number 7, Jarek Fortuna. Number 9, Mac Abolucion. Number 9, Mackie Acosta. Number 10, Jello Montecastro. Number 10, David Webb. Number 11, Paul Sanga. Number 14, John Colina. Number 15, Jan Tan. Number 15, Jewel Ponferrada. Number 18, T.G. Guillermo. Number 20, Rio Cervantes. Head coaches Richard Del Rosario, Glenn Capasio, and Aboy Castro. Ladies and gentlemen, the NCAA, the UAAP All-Star Volunteer Team. Ang Kakampi from the Amateur Commercial Leagues, please welcome the PBL Liga Pilipinas Volunteer Team. Number 1, Alan Husted. Number 4, Fritz Mauzon. Number 5, Mark Canlas. Number 6, Kojak Menegrito. Number 8, Raymond Aguilar. Number 9, J.R. Guerrilla. Number 9, Rob Labagala. Number 9, Rex Lanus. Number 11, Glenn Bolocon. Number 11, Mark Ababou. Number 13, Ian Mazo. Number 14, Kazi Mirza. Number 15, James Mangahas. Number 16, Ariel Nepanya. Number 16, Eder Soldua. Number 16, Jerwin Gako. Number 22, June Tanuan. And number 33, Box Raymundo. Head coaches Rolando Cosaba, Willie Naralao, and Carlo Tan. Ladies and gentlemen, the Liga PBL selection team. Ladies and gentlemen, ang Kakapinyo mula sa PBA, the Powerade-Pilipinas. Standing 6'4", the daredevil, number 4, Jared Dillinger. Standing 6'3", shooting guard number 6, James Young. Standing 6'8", number 7, Sonny. At 6'6", playing power forward, number 9, Ranidel de Ocampo. Standing 6'5", guard forward, number 10, Gabe Norwood. Playing shooting guard, 5'11", number 11, Willie, the Thriller Miller. Standing 6'6", foot 4, small forward, number 12, Arwin Santos. Standing 6, playing point guard, number 13, J.J. Hilterbrand. Standing 6 foot 2, shooting guard, number 14, Cyrus Baguio. Playing center, standing 6 foot 7, number 18, J.R. Ryan. Playing point guard, number 19, Wayne Arboleda. Standing 6 foot 9, number 17, Mick Pinisi. Standing 6 foot 6, number 5, team co-captain Kirby Raimundo. Standing 6 foot 9, the team captain playing center, the man in the middle, number 8, Asi Taulava. Head coach Yang Yao, coaching staff G. Abanilia, Roel Nadurata, Kenneth Dorendes, team manager J.B. Bailon. Ladies and gentlemen, Powerade-Pilipinas. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome ang Kakampi nyo mula sa Smart Gilas Pilipinas National Team. Wearing jersey number 7, guard forward, Ababou. Number 17 and center, the man in the middle, Japeth Aguilar. Number 12, forward, center, Jason Ballesteros. Number 10, guard forward, Ranidel. Forward guard, Mark Barroca. Number 6, guard, Joseph Evans Casio. Number 15, guard forward, Ricardo Kawali. Number 11, center, Chester Giles. Number 5, forward, Aldrech John Ramos. Number 19, forward, center, Magic King Season. Number 8, Edgar Chris Chu. Head coach, Raiko Toroman, assisted by Alan Gregorio. SVP Competitions Commissions, Bernie Atienza. SVP Operations Finance, Head Antonio Coach Sereno. Ladies and gentlemen, Smart Gilas Pilipinas National Team. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we call the representatives of the different participating leagues to the center circle for the prayer of unity ang Kakapinyo. From the Samahang Basketbol ng Pilipinas, the Chairman and President, Mr. Manny V. Pangilinan, Vice Chairman of SBP, Mr. Ricky Vargas, and the Executive Director of the SBP, Noli Ayala. From the PBA, Mr. Lito Alvarez, the Chairman of PBA Board of Governors, and Commissioner Sonny Barrios. From the PBL, Chairman of the PBL, Mr. Mikey Romero, and PBL Commissioner Chino Trinidad. From Liga Pilipinas, Mr. Butch Antonio, and Honorable Councilor Raul Alcusaba. From the NCAA Policy Board President, Father Matt Jesus, and Mr. Fernando Ding Lozano Jr., NCAA Mancom member. From the UAAP, Mr. Anton Montella, Chairman UAAP Board, and Mrs. Felicitas Francisco, member UAAP Board. From Smart Sports, Mr. Doy Veyer, President Smarts Communications, and Mr. Pato Gregorio, Head of Smart Sports, and Attorney Eric Espanol, Smart Communications. Here is Ambassador Christy Kenny, Rene Pardo, PBA Governor. The prayer will be led by Father Matt Jesus.
Tahimik lang, sandali. aming bayang Pilipinas. Lalo-lalo na mga kapatid namin nasa lantak at naghihirap dahil sa samunan nila ng bagyong Ondoy. Pagpalain niyo ang pagkakaisa namin ngayong gabi. Nawaway ang aming pagkakaisa na magbungan ng tulong at mabungan din naman ng tuwa sa mga puso ng aming mga kapatid. At kami nagpapasalamat sa lahat ng kagalingan, talino, yaman at lakas na iyong pinulot sa amin. Naway bahagi namin ito sa kanila. At sa aming pagkakaisa, buong may kapal, gawagan niyo rin ng inyong kapatawaran ang aming mga pagkukulang. At ganyan pala ang mga puso handang maglingkod sa kanilang mga kapatid. Pagpalain niyo at biyayaan ang mga kapatid namin handang tumulong sa kanila. Naway ang aming pagkakaisa ay magbigay puri sa iyo. Aming Puhon, aming Panginoon, mapagmahal at mabuhay. Inihiling namin ito sa pamagitan niyo ang anak na si Jesus Cristo. Amen.
Mangyari na po ang team na tayo, ilagay ang halagamay sa isip at bigay galang sa ating pamansang awit. Ladies and gentlemen, you may all be seated. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we wish to acknowledge the persons behind Pinoy Basketball Kakampi. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Samahang Basketbol Pilipinas, the President of the SBP, Mr. Manny B. Pangilinan, Vice Chairman of the SBP, Mr. Ricky Vargas, and the Executive Director of the Samahang Basketbol Pilipinas, Noe Ayala. From the Philippine Basketball Association, Mr. Lito Alvarez, and Commissioner Sonny Barrios. And from the Philippine Basketball League, the Chairman of the PBL, Mr. Mike Romero, and Commissioner Chino Trinidad. From Liga Pilipinas, Mr. Tuck Padilla and Mr. Raul Kusama. From the NCAA, Chairman of the NCAA Policy Board, Father Matt De Jesus, and Mr. Ding Lozano, MANCOM member. From the UAAP, Mr. Antonio Tinola, and Mrs. Felicitas Francisco. From Smart Sports, Mr. Doy Bea and Mr. Patong Gregorio. From the Araneta Coliseum, Ms. Sienna Olazo. And also to the PBA Governor Rene Pardo and U.S. Ambassador Christy Kenny. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of the Samahang Basketbol Pilipinas, Mr. Manny V. Pangilinan.
Ambassador Kenny, saka sa inyo lahat dito sa Araneta. Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. My message tonight is a message of simple but profound. First of all, PBA, through Commissioner Sally, Board of PBA, PBL, Commissioner Chino Trinidad, and Chairman Mikey, sa UAP, through Ocampo, sa NCAA, para matos sa saka sa Liga Pilipinas kasi pero maraming salamat for supporters. And of course, the players from UAE and NCAA, and players from Liga and PBL, or this is the first time that players from these organizations joined the competitive for the first time. Maybe it proves to us, the people, that even in times of adversity, we can unite. Sabi nga ni Noon, basta Pinoy basketball, kamtin kami. I'd like to show the many supporters and donors for tonight's event. I think so far we've raised 1,650,000 cash. And copious amounts of rubber sheets and rubber slippers. And Pato just told me that Farex has donated 1 million worth of medicine for the target. All of these contributions, donations, ticket sales, sponsorship will be forced through donating institutions, namely the ABS-CBN Kapamilya Foundation and the GMA 7 Kapuso Foundation. So maraming salamat ulit. Kung pwede ko lang ulitin, basta Pinoy basketball, happy na kami. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Mr. Dillinger. Ladies and gentlemen, the proceeds from today's charity games shall reach the victims of Typhoon Ondoy through the GMA Kapuso Foundation and the ABS-CBN Foundation. And we now call forward the representatives from the different leagues to present the donation. From the PBA, Mr. Lito Alvarez and Commissioner Sonny. From the PBL, Mr. Michael Romero and Commissioner Chino Trinidad. From Liga Pilipinas, Mr. Takpadilla and Mr. Raul Alcosala. From the NCAA, Father Matthew Susan, Mr. Manny Laxor. From the UWAP, Mr. Anton Montenora and Mrs. Felicitas Francisco. From Smart Sports, Mr. Tony Chua and Mr. Paco Gregorio. From the Araneta Coliseum, Ms. Shena Olazo. And from the SVP, Mr. Manny V. Paglinan, Mr. Ricky Vargas, and Commissioner Noli Ayala. Accepting the donation for the victims of Typhoon Ondoy, we wish to invite to Center Court from the GMA Kapuso Foundation, Mr. Butch Raquel, and from the ABS-CBN Foundation, Ms. Claire Obispo and Grace Sescar. We wish to call Mr. Joby Pascual and Mr. Lee Kamua to turn over the donation of Farex to the victims of Typhoon Ondoy. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, we wish to thank those who have come forward with their generous support and donations for the victims of Typhoon Ondoy, Mr. Manuel V. Paglinan, Smart Sports, Batang Pierre Foundation, and Mr. Mikey Romero, the Araneta Coliseum, Solar Sports, PAGCOR, and Chairman Efrain Genuino, Mr. Robert Uy of Toyota Iloilo, Nike Philippines, Sonny Trading, Pascual Laboratories, Anta, Islander Sandals, and Chicharitos. Mr. Jun C. of Tao Corporation, Everbuena, and Mr. Yosozu C. But most of all, we would like to thank you, all the countless basketball fans who have come today to lend support to our kababayan. Tunay po kayong kakampi ng sambayanang Pilipino. Maraming salamat po. Ladies and gentlemen, stand by for the game featuring the Powerade-Pilipinas going up against the Smart Gilas Pilipinas national team, coming to you in a very short while.
Gravy love, my gravy love, wanna have you chicken and gravy love.
KFC gravy and original recipe chicken. The more you taste, the more you love.
You're just so finger-licking good. Who knows better than whatever? Who knows what's good for you? Mother's best. He's always there in times are not for better. Who cares to see you through? Mother's best. Knows the best, yes, and nothing less. She knows the best for you.
Love you, Mommy.
Yes, you know, and I know that we love Mother's best, 'cause Mother knows best. Mother's best.
We love you, Mommy. Mother's best oyster sauce. Mother knows best.
Pilipinas, sa LBC Bike, hari ka.
Oh, prinsesa!
Ang OFW, hari. Pati entrepreneur. LBC Bike, matatag, maasahan.
Iba't iba ang serbisyo, ibang-iba mag-asikaso sa LBC Bank. Halika na dito, halika dito sa LBC Bank.
Icy. Creamy. Chewy. With chunky real bits. Treat yourself to the new KFC Crushers. Get crushed.
We welcome you to the championship capital of Philippine basketball, but we're not going to cover a championship game for the sake of basketball. We're going to cover a basketball game for championing the sake of humanity. Ito po ang Pinoy Basketball Kakampi nyo. You're catching all the action here on CS9. James Yap and the rest of Powerade-Pilipinas going up against Mac Barakael and the rest of the Smart Gilas national team. It's a young national team trying to prove something, and it's our PBA national team trying to protect their turf. As we welcome you to our special coverage of Pinoy Basketball Kakampi nyo, Miko Halili alongside El Decano, Senor Quinito Henson.
Twice, I call this a battle between the present and the future. And the present, of course, is the Powerade national team that finished 8th in the last FIBA Asia Championships in Tianjin. At mapapanood po natin ngayon, for the very first time, yung Smart Gilas team, we call this the National Developmental Team. This is the team that Coach Raiko Toraman hopes to take all the way to the London Olympics. That's a big question mark, whether this team has the capability and the talent to get the job done.
On your screens, Japeth Aguilar, he'll be suiting up for Smart Gilas for tonight's big game. And this is a team that's out to prove something. It's a young team, although they will be reinforced by CJ Giles, but this is still a young team nonetheless.
Oh, without a doubt, even CJ Giles is a young player. He had a preseason stint with the Los Angeles Lakers, but if you take a look at this lineup, it shows you a lot of talent from the collegiate ranks. You've got the UAAP MVP, Dylan Ababou from UST, heading the cast. You have Mark Andy Barroca of FEU. You know what he's done for this Smart Gilas team that took 5th place in the FIBA Asia Champions Cup just this year. And Raiko Toraman, he is the architect of Iran's basketball team. He took Iran all the way to the Beijing Olympics, and his successor in the Iran national basketball team has taken that same team back on top of the FIBA Asia Championships.
And for more on the Smart Gilas squad, let's send you over to Patricia Bermudez-Ciso.
Thank you so much, Miko, and Coach Raiko Toraman, which is telling me, reminding everyone that the real goal is 2012. So everything that they're doing at this point is really just in preparation for that. He understands, though, that both teams will be out to win tonight, and he understands that there will be a lot of tension. But this is, of course, just for the benefit of the typhoon victims. As far as their team dynamics is concerned, he shares that there are players in his squad that have been with them from the start, like Barako and Ballesteros, players that have come late, like Giles and Japeth Aguilar, and players that really just returned 2 or 3 practices ago, like Ababou and Kawaling. They haven't really had much time to fully integrate everyone, but still, their strength is team chemistry. He says keys for them simply include playing aggressive and giving it a good fight. Miko, Quinito?
Well, thank you very much, Pat. Definitely Smart Gilas, Quinito, have an edge in cohesion here and familiarity.
Oh, I think so, because this team has played together for a long time. They've also been practicing together. But well, Patricia said it right. A lot of players are just coming in from the UAP, but they've never lost touch. And, you know, as far as chemistry is concerned, it's all about Coach Raiko Toraman's system. This is a system where they believe in respecting the game. That's the philosophy of Raiko Toraman. He feels that there's a lot to be done on the court, and there has to be teamwork for the team to advance. And you know, his credentials speak for themselves. This man brought Iran to the FIBA Asia Championship and brought that same team to the Beijing Olympics.
Well, standing in their way is the Powerade team Pilipinas squad, and they're reuniting for a good cause. You know, after the FIBA Asia, these players went their separate ways, but they're back together to face the Smart Gilas in this charity game.
Well, they have reunited for a cause. The Powerade team, however, will not play Nick Pinisi and Arwin Santos. Instead, they will have Willie, Arboleda, Ranidel de Ocampo, and replacing Japeth Aguilar in this lineup is J.R. Reyes. Now, Japeth played for this team in the FIBA Asian Championships in Tianjin, but now he's crossed over to the Smart Gilas team. Now, a lot of people are saying that for Powerade, they've got everything to lose in this game. A lot of prestige is at stake. Kung matalo sila ng Smart Gilas, a lot of people are saying, what? You're going to lose to a developmental team? So I think both these teams want to prove something. Not just Smart Gilas. I think Powerade wants to prove that they're still at the top of their game.
And for more on Powerade-Pilipinas, let's send you back to Patricia Izo.
Well, like Finito, Coach Yang also describes this as a game between the future and the present. The Gilas team will definitely be trying to take over what Powerade Team Pilipinas has started. So Powerade actually feels a lot more pressure than the Smart Gilas squad does. So the pressure is on them, and they feel that they have to prove that they are the better team, at least currently. Gilas, though, or rather Powerade, though, has a few problems. JJ Heltebrand will not be playing because he's not in game shape yet, coming from the U.S. Nick Pinisi and Arwin Santos are with the Beermen in Singapore. Kelly Williams and Ryan Reyes are not here either. But not only are they depleted, they also have injuries. James Yap with a right foot injury, Asi Taulava with hamstring problems, but they are going to be playing this game. Now, Coach Yang says turnovers hopefully will not be an issue. They just can't waste too many opportunities there, and Coach Yang also hopes that they can sustain their energy on the defensive end. You know, they gotta realize the seriousness of this game because only 5 guys showed up for practice yesterday, but despite all that, Coach Yang says he's just confident that this squad is out there to prove that they are currently the best representative for the country. Back to you guys.
Do you agree with that? The pressure is on Powerade Team Pilipinas tonight?
I think so. As I said earlier, no, there's a lot of prestige at stake here. But, you know, Powerade is going to rely on experience. They've had a lot of years playing this game in the Pro League at a very high level. And you can't match that. That's the level of competition that is the highest in the land. And for Smart Gilas, I feel they're going to be a little overawed here. They're going to be playing against their idols, their heroes. And I think in the first few minutes here, Coach Raiko Toraman will make sure that his players' feet are on the ground because they might be flying up there. They need to be able to put their feet back in the ground.
Might get starstruck, huh? All right. Well, you mentioned that this is a battle between the present and the future, and that is really indicative in the matchup at the center slot when you have Asi Taulava and Japeth Aguilar facing off in one of our matchups to watch. As you mentioned, Japeth will now be playing against Asi Taulava, who had to be his mentor when he was with Powerade Team Pilipinas.
And not only his mentor, but I think his tormentor. I understand during the practices in Tianjin as well as in the Jones Cup, Taulava gave Japeth Aguilar a lot to think about. In fact, more than enough for him to reconsider his decision to turn pro. Maybe Asi Taulava had something to do with that. Aguilar realizing that he may not be ready for the pro ranks, and that's why he has opted to play for Smart Gilas. Whether he will be able to play in the PBA conference coming up for Smart Gilas is still up in the air. That's a question that has to be resolved.
So we invite you to join us for the next 2.5 hours. Watch this game and save lives. Ito po ang Pinoy Basketbol Kakampi nyo. We'll bring you the jump ball after these messages.
Ooh, gravy love, my gravy love. Wanna have you chicken and gravy love.
KFC gravy and original recipe chicken. The more you taste, the more you love.
You're just so finger-licking good.
Powerade lets me play my game my way. Powerade. Sport is what you make it.
Pilipinas, sa LBC Bike, hari ka.
Oh, prinsesa!
Ang OFW, hari. Pati entrepreneur. LBC Bike, matatag, maasahan.
Iba't iba ang serbisyo, ibang-iba mag-asikaso sa LBC Bank. Halika na dito, halika dito sa LBC Bank.
Icy, creamy, chewy, with chunky real bits. Treat yourself to the new KFC Crushers. Get crushed.
The NCAA and Smart Sports presents Game 2 of Pinoy Basketbol Kakampi, the charity games for the victims of Typhoon Ondoy, featuring the Powerade-Pilipinas going up against the Smart Gilas Pilipinas national team. And now let's meet ang Kakampi from the PBA Powerade-Pilipinas. Standing 6'4", the Daredevil, number 4, Dillinger. Standing 6'3", shooting guard, number 6, James Yap. Standing 6'8", number 7, Sonny Frost. At 6'6" playing power forward, number 9, Ranidel Ocampo. Standing 6'5", guard forward, number 10, Gabe Norwood. Playing shooting guard, 5 feet 11 inches, number 11, Willie the Thriller Miller. Standing 6'2", shooting guard, number 14, Cyrus Baguio. Playing center, standing 6'7", number 17, J.R. Reyes. Playing point guard, number 19, Willie Ababou. Standing 6'6", number 5, team co-captain, Kirby Raymundo. And standing 6'9", team captain, playing center, number 8, Taulava. Head coach for the Powerade-Pilipinas is Yang Yao. Assistant coach for Gia Bonilla, Noel Andrada, Kenneth Remdes, and team managers JP Bailo. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome ang Kakampi from the Samahang Basketbol ng Pilipinas, the Smart Gilas Pilipinas national team. Number 7, guard forward, Ababou. Number 17 at center, Japeth Aguilar. Number 12, forward center, Jason Ballesteros. Wearing jersey number 10, guard forward, Matt Barako. Wearing jersey number 4 at guard, Mark Barroca. Wearing jersey number 6 at guard, JP Casio. Number 15, guard forward, J.R. Kawaling. Wearing jersey number 11 at center, C.J. Giles. Wearing jersey number 5 at forward, Aldrech Ramos. Wearing jersey number 19, forward center, Maggie Cisoy. And wearing jersey number 8 at guard, Chris Chu. Head coach for the Smart Gilas Pilipinas national team is Raiko Tonaman. Assistant coach is Alan Gregorio. SBB Competitions Commission, Bernie Atienza, and SBB Operations Finance Head, Mr. Butch Antonio. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's see the starters for both teams. First, from your Powerade-Pilipinas,
starting at guard number 11, Willie Miller. Another guard number 6, James Yap. At forward number 4, Jared Dillinger. Another forward number 9, Ranidel de Ocampo. And at center number 7, Sonny Thos. Head coach for the Powerade-Pilipinas is Giles. And now the starting lineup for your smart Gilas Filipinas national team. At guard number 6, JV Casio. Another guard number 8, Chris Chu. At forward number 10, Mac Barako. Another forward number 17, Japeth Aguilar. And at center number 11, CJ Giles. Head coach for the smart Gilas Filipinas national team is Barako Bull. Our referees for the ball game, my boy Cruz Artedera and Tronji Aldaba with no killing in the South Unit referee. It's a Powerade-Pilipinas going up against.
And here are your primary protagonists for the main game of Pinoy basketball, Kakampi.
An interesting matchup here at the shooting guard position. James Yap against Chris Chu. Now Chu, much smaller than James Yap. I think Yap is going to use a lot of muscle to be able to get his shots off. Chu is going to use his speed. I think overall Smart Gilas will use that asset. No, it's speed because of the youth factor, and the Powerade team will try to use, will try to play a slow down game and turn this into a sort of like a man-to-man or a man versus boys battle. I think that's really what Powerade wants to do. And of course, this is a test between the system of Coach Toraman, the system of the FIBA style with its three-point shooting and playing the long court, and Coach Yengiao's style of using all of his players, equal opportunity for all his players.
And this game is underway. First possession goes to Smart Gilas. They're in immaculate white, Powerade Team Pilipinas in royal blue.
Just wanted to say also that there's a little bit of color on the floor, possibly because Ranidel de Ocampo was involved in a scuffle with CJ Giles in a practice game only last Friday, Talking Tex versus Smart Gilas. That game was abbreviated with Smart Gilas up ahead by 10.
And CJ Giles snatches the rebound. Here comes Casio. JV Casio was never a natural point guard in the UAAP, but here he is, starting point guard for Smart Gilas. Giles is fouled, and immediately CJ Giles and Ranidel de Ocampo getting reacquainted. Ang balita ko, hindi lang si Ranidel, ang dami. Maraming nakipagkilala kay CJ Giles in that tune-up game.
Actually, nangyari doon was Giles tripped Ranidel de Ocampo and got a technical foul. But you take a look at that replay, and Ranidel de Ocampo following from behind.
Oh, it's you again.
Ranidel was blocked 4 times by CJ Giles in that contest, and on the 4th block, he just lost his cool, claiming that Giles had thrown a punch, but that was not ascertained. Giles, however, said that he might have thrown an elbow in trying to get position, but Ranidel brought him down with a headlock, and that started a free-for-all. It was, I think, about 5 or 6 Talking Tex players against Giles.
Meantime, here's Ranidel making his move. Really one of the best post-up players in the business. And he puts Powerade on the spot.
And that's experience for you. Experience and the versatility of playing like a Ranidel de Ocampo. He can post up. He's a player who can hit you from hurt you from outside, but he also has the mobility to move away from the low post and get his nice angle to get the shot unmolested from close range.
Casio, Japeth Aguilar, 3. Casio chases the basketball, ends up with Mac Barako.
Now this is the kind of game that Powerade likes to play. So forcing Coach Toraman to play a slow down game. They're making them play half court and not taking advantage of their speed.
James Yap fires, yes sir.
Smart Gilas must respect the outside shooting of James Yap.
Chris Chu on the right side, alley-oop for Giles.
Well, you take advantage of your big man. He's a potential naturalized player. for the national team. CJ Giles has agreed to play for Smart Gilas for 1 year. He's a legitimate NCAA Division I player. In fact, he plays for 2 teams. But James Yap is showing that he can gun it from anywhere.
4 points for James Yap. Bad pass issue there, so it's a 6-3 ball game in favor of Powerade-Pilipinas. Willie Miller at the point guard spot.
Nico, I would call that, I would say a rookie mistake on the part of Smart Gilas. They're trying to get the ball in the hands of CJ Giles at every opportunity at the quickest possible time. But there's pressure in the backcourt, so they've got to make sure that Giles is going to be free underneath.
And Giles was free underneath for that KFC assist delivery of the first quarter. Magpa-deliver sa KFC, just now 887-8888. KFC, it's making really good. Back to action on the floor. Chris Chu receives the pass. Barako in motion, 14 on the shot clock. 9 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Japeth goes up, and he goes up without the basketball. A nice swipe by Ranidel. Here comes Miller on the move. Miller spins. Finger roll, beauty!
And got the foul. What a move by Willie Miller. You know, that's the kind of move that will make the Smart Gilas youngsters look in awe at their idols. You watch this. A move with the left hand, and you know that he's left-handed.
And the foul rather is against CJ Giles, his first. Ayan na, yan ang delikado pag salubong nakilay ni Willie. That means he's all business.
Oh, yes. Well, Willie Miller didn't play the last few games over at FIBA Asia Championships because of a groin pull. And he was telling me just before this game that it's the first time he suffered such an injury. And he says, boy, it really hurts. But he's finished with that. He says he's through, he's had his therapy, and he's 100%.
He looks like he's 100% tonight. Casio for 3. And out. Rebound for Sonny.
See the way Willie Miller defended Casio with that 3-point shot. A little over anxious, that play of Powerade.
8.5 remaining in the opening quarter. Smart Gilas down by 6 points. Japeth thought about the 3. Handoff, Casio. Here's Barako, top of the key. Barako attacks. Giles spins, foul, and
we'll go to the line. You notice with Coach Raiko Toroman's play, he has his 2 big men set up high as the ball is crossing the line. So they're not posting up immediately, because if you post up immediately, it'll draw the defense towards you and it'll cut off the options. So what he does is he has his 2 big men come up high, and then once the ball is over the quarter court, then either Giles or Japeth Aguilar will go to the low post. That way they'll be in a better position to get the ball where they want, closer to the basket.
And 2 for 2 for CJ Giles.
And so far he's the only scorer for Smart Gilas.
8:12 remaining in the opening quarter. High looper for Ranidel won't work. Here comes Casio. He steps on the gas. Casio on the move. Casio with nowhere to go.
A good transition defense here by Powerade.
James Yap blocked by Giles. His first of the night.
Now you see Smart Gilas stepping on the gas now a little bit.
Now they step on the brakes, and they're organized at the half-court set. Here's Aguilar. Japeth hands off. Casio, get to shoot. Casio over to Barako, top of the key. Air ball. In a moment, we'll see the entry of Mark Barroca for Smart Gilas. Meantime, here's Dillinger. Dillinger lost the ball. Sonny toss, nice move, and it rolls in.
It looks like a foul on the play. Crowd reacting a little bit here with Andy Barroca rising from the bench. Coach Toroman seeing that his outside shooters are not on target at this point. And Barroca, you know that he can light it up from the outside. He's now checking in. You know, just to refresh our memories, as far as Barroca is concerned. He scored 28 points in that Champions Cup game, FIBA Asia Champions Cup game in Jakarta this year. When Smart Gilas beat Lebanon 91-86, Barroca scored 28 points in that game.
Powerade-Pilipinas getting the basketball again. Up by 6 points. James Yap for 3. Rebound from Giles. Barroca with his first touch of the basketball. They'll reset here with 16 on the shot clock. Chris Chu. Aguilar. 8 to shoot. Aguilar to Giles. 5 to shoot. Barroca fires. Oh, Giles with a putback slam. That's really the game of Giles. He's not going to ask for special plays. He's just going to get those loose balls and get those rebounds.
That's right. He's playing within the system. You notice that he's not a ball hog. He's giving up the ball. He's setting up, picks up high. But Sonny thoughts, getting it from the outside. Now you talk about even distribution. You've got 4 players now from Powerade scoring points. You've got 1 player from Smart Gilas contributing everything.
Here's Barroca. As we near the halfway mark of the opening quarter, and a traveling violation against Chu.
Powerade playing excellent defense. Apart from the fact that Giles has been able to get away with some shots from the inside, I think his teammates have completely been silenced here by Powerade.
And we're back with more action in a moment.
Gravy love, my gravy love. Wanna have you chicken and gravy love.
KFC gravy and original recipe chicken. The more you taste, the more you love.
You're just so finger-licking good.
Good morning, sir. Hi. Delivery po.
Basta LBC.
Last season, she survived hell.
There were some diplomats visiting that country were assassinated the same day.
And this time, she must choose. Stay and live, or escape and die. La Femme Nikita, Season 2, weekdays at 9 a.m. right here on CS9.
Basta LBC.
Icy. Creamy. Chewy. With chunky real bits. Treat yourself to the new KFC Crushers. Get crushed.
Back inside the Big Dome, this is Pinoy Basketbol Kakampi. Get to know more about JRS from Leah Cruz. Leah?
Thank you, Miko. Now, among the thousands of people affected by Typhoon Ondoy, JRS and his family were included in that list. Last Saturday, he was on his way home from practice and he got stranded. However, his wife and his baby were stranded inside their village along Marcos Highway, and he told me the entire story. Basically, together with their brother-in-law, they got stranded inside the second floor of their house. The water reached the first floor and almost got to the second, and they didn't have any water, so JR himself waded through the flood water to get them water the next day. However, before that, he also asked Wellcoat if he could borrow a truck to try to get to his family, which they lent him, but the flood water was so deep that even the truck couldn't get through. Most important thing JR says is di bale yung mga gamit na nawala, basta safe yung pamilya ko. Miko and Canito?
I have to second the motion. Again, we are having staging this charity game as Giles connects para matulungan natin lahat ng naapektuhan, lahat ng nasalanta ng bagyong Ondoy. It's a kind of calamity that affects everyone. Even if you were not directly affected, you are bound to know someone. You're bound to have a loved one who was affected by the typhoon.
My brother-in-law was affected. Here, Japeth Aguilar, the first local scorer for Smart Gilas on alley-oop play.
Japeth, of course, prior to the typhoon, siya rin yung laman ng jari. And he also has a lot to prove tonight. Sonny toss, there's the rebound, and there's a loose ball foul against Gilas.
I think that might be against Giles. No, Dillinger Ababou is called for the foul. You watch the pass here coming behind Barroca.
Thunderous dunk by Japeth Aguilar.
And that's great coordination on the part of the point guard and Japeth Aguilar. You know, in the UAP, Coach Toraman was saying that Barroca was playing the off-guard position, but he really wants him to play point guard. Look at the way he's going.
And Barroca will
have control that time.
Ball was partially swiped by Willie Miller. Dillinger pulls up, no go. Giles with the rebound, and Timor and Giles to send you to Patricia Hizo.
You know, Kinito, you started talking about the altercation between Ranidel, Ocampo, and CJ Giles. Just to add to that, Giles says that he was surrounded during that fight, but his brother Malcolm, who's here from the States, came in to basically get his back. Now Giles says tonight, this game here is a lot bigger than himself, and he's just focusing on what he can do here. He knows that Gilas is a special team since meeting them in Vegas. Now his big adjustment going into tonight's game is to be more aggressive and more physical and more offensive-minded. He tends to be passive, he says, but no, not tonight. And obviously, that's a big statement for him. Back to you guys.
Well, you know, Patricia is practically doing everything here for Smart Gilas. He's got 9 of Gilas' 11 points. He's got 9 of Gilas' 11 rebounds.
Caritos attacks with the shot clock winding down. Barroca is on the move. Barroca is bumped. And there's a foul spotted by referee Boy Cruz. So by the way, is our Chief Justice tonight. And he's joined by Toron Gil Daba and Art Herrera in our Supreme Court.
And I'm looking at Coach Raiko Toraman. I don't know if our cameraman can switch over to the Smart Gilas side. And for every play, he feels that there is a lesson to be learned. That particular play, he turned over to the boys on his bench, and he explained to them what happened and what could have happened. And you know, that's his reputation. He's a teacher. And Aguilar hitting it from outside. Now, by the way, that's a three-point shot, and we're playing under new PBA rules. We're going back to the old distance, which is the NBA distance of three-point shooting in the PBA.
James Yap for three. Yes, sir. Well, check that. That's a long two-pointer for the man with a million moves. That extends Powerade's lead to 3 points, 17-14. Here's Barroca. Barroca fires. Barroca scores.
We told you about his outside shooting prowess, and that's the reason why he is in. That's also the reason why Winnie Arboleda was brought in by Coach Kiao. They don't want Barroca to take over this game from the outside and kick up the pace.
Ball stays with Powerade, and Sonny Toss will sit down in favor of team captain Asi Taulava.
You know, we talked about Barroca scoring 28 points against Lebanon in the FIBA Asian Champions Cup this year. What about Barroca's 37 points that he scored against Burger King? Remember that tune-up game?
Missed by Gabe Norwood. And it's going to be Smart Gilas basketball. We're all tied at 16 apiece with 2:52 remaining in the first. We'll be back after this timeout.
Ooh, gravy love, my gravy love. Wanna have you chicken and gravy love.
KFC gravy and original recipe chicken. The more you taste, the more you love.
You're just so finger-licking good. Who knows better than whatever? Who knows what's good for you? Who's always there in times and not for better? Who cares to see you through? Knows the best, yes, and nothing less. She knows the best for you.
Love you, Mommy.
Yes, you know, and I know that we love Mother's best, 'cause Mother knows best. Mother's best.
We love you, Mommy.
Mother's Best oyster sauce. Mother knows best.
sir. Willie.
Naalala mo!
Happy anniversary?
Basta.
Deep in the heart of the South Pacific lies one of the most mysterious and isolated islands in the world, Samoa.
How to survive in an island? Don't get too emotional.
And I don't understand how I'm the weakest link at all.
Be ready to do the impossible.
Look at how Eric carried the weight. He made me so proud.
And trust no one.
I plan on making it as miserable as possible, making it hell for everybody.
Outwit. Outlast. Outplay. Survivor Samoa, Saturday at 7 p.m. right here on CS9.
Good morning, sir. Hi. Delivery po.
Basta LBC.
Icy. Creamy. Chewy. With chunky real bits. Treat yourself to the new KFC Crushers. Get crushed.
A slice of the big crowd on hand. We'll hope to see you for the opening of the 35th season of the PBA on October 11th. Sol Mercado on the left. Ano si Joker? Mas kailangan yata ng kape. Puyata. Alright, Barroca being harassed here. And Barroca will lose that ball. CJ Giles recovers. And here comes Aguilar with 8 to shoot. Japeth for 3. Not that time. Giles keeping that ball alive. Kawaling for 3. Short. Ababou calls for the foul. Willie Arboleda really showing his age. Ako ang mama dito.
Yun ang sinasabi ko kanina. What Powerade wants to do is to turn this into a man versus boys kind of thing. And it's all psychological, of course. I mean, you've got Kirby Raimundo, Gabe Norwood, and Asi Taulava now playing at the same time. And you see Barroca erased by Asi Taulava's pick.
James Yap off the glass, no go. Gabe Norwood. 10 to shoot for Powerade, 2 and 10 remaining in the first. We're tied at 16. Here's James Yap firing a 3. Yes, sir!
You know, he's taking his shots too leisurely. There's no real hard defense on James Yap. And if you let him go, he's gonna go. Already with 8 points scored. Yap, I think, still has to get familiar with the new PBA 3-point line. He's scoring a lot of long 2s, but not long enough to score the 3.
There's a foul against Asi Taulava, who came off the bench here in the first quarter. Coach Yengyao remains the most intimidating man I know under 6 feet.
Oh, by the way, we've been talking about the new PBA 3-point line. FIBA is also adjusting its 3-point line, making it a little longer. And here's a turnover, forced by the defense of Powerade. Now, we've been talking about the Powerade defense that has really been stuck against this very young smart Gilas squad.
Arboleda, the court general.
Oh, forcing a turnover on Arboleda. I think Barroca might have blocked the ball.
So we'll take this time on with 1 minute and 31 remaining. Powerade on top by 2.
Ooh, gravy love, my gravy love. Wanna have you chicken and gravy love.
KFC gravy and original recipe chicken. The more you taste, the more you love.
You're just so finger-licking good.
We got nothing to worry about.
This season, District Attorney Sebastian Starr
You are under oath, sir.
will realize that doing two things at the same time is not that easy.
Now you can worry.
Constantly dealing with dangerous and complex crimes in Los Angeles.
I am going to make it my mission to put you away.
And trying to strengthen his relationship with his daughter.
This is a surprise.
How can the Shark pull it off?
It's just a matter of time before he screws up, and we'll get it.
Shark, Season 2, Tuesday, 6 p.m., right here on CS9.
Icy. Creamy. Chewy. With chunky real bits. Treat yourself to the new KFC Crushers. Get crushed.
Back inside the championship capital of Philippine basketball, Nico Halili here with El Decano, Senor Quinito Henson. And joining the conversation now is Patricia Bermudez. He's on. Patricia?
Since you guys are focusing on Mark Barroca right here, he was telling me that he's still trying to recover from the issues that he's had to face in the UAAP, but with the smart Gilas being his only team now, he says he's just giving all of his energy and dedication here. He's definitely more motivated and he's out there to prove a lot. Now on the other side, Chris Chu also, he asked for issues and politics to be set aside. He talked about the need to show how competitive smart Gilas is. They are prepared, they have the right ingredients, they have the best talent, and a great system, plus a coach who can steer them to greatness. He's definitely excited about this game. On a side note, his girlfriend has been helping me a lot in the stuff that I've been doing in relief efforts. Thanks, Chris. Nico, Quinito?
You know, Chris Chu has been the rock, you know, of this team. He's the captain, and Barroca, incidentally, is the co-captain. And I'm talking about Barroca. He just lost the ball on the sidelines. You call that an unforced error, lapse in concentration on the part of Barroca. 7 turnovers now against Mark Gilas, only 3 against Powerade.
Barroca is replaced by J.D. Casio. Under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
You know, the problem that Coach Toraman faces here in the long haul is that he's not replacing his two big men. I mean, he's going almost exclusively here with Japeth, Aguilar, and Giles together. They have not been replaced. And how far they'll go in this game is a big question mark. On the other hand, you've got Powerade and the deep bench of Coach Yeng Yao, and you know his equal opportunity system. He's giving everyone a chance to play and also the opportunity to wear out Giles and Aguilar together.
Blocking foul on Chris Chu. Sends Kirby Raimundo to the line. If you look at the faces of Powerade-Pilipinas, it's so obvious, Quinito, that as you said, we're the men here, and nobody's going to show us up. Not the young guys, especially. As you look at Willie Marcial and Kenneth Durentes.
Willie Marcial is an assistant coach now with Powerade.
Well, Kenneth is part of the 25 greatest. Willie Marcial is not.
Well, it's good to see both of them on the bench. Willie, I think, has done a yeoman's job in putting this team together. And, logistically, by the way, it's Willie Marcial's birthday coming up on October 10th. Now, here's the problem we're talking about. As Toraman is going exclusively with Giles and Aguilar, once either or both get into foul trouble, then Toraman is in big trouble. And right now, Giles has 2 personal fouls. Aguilar, however, is still clean.
As he misses the first free throw.
And remember, we're just in the first quarter. Asi Taulava in Tianjin. He scored double figures in 3 out of the 9 games.
Casio setting the table here for Smart Gilas. Casio. The Giles! Yes, sir!
You see the movement. He did not post up. And that's a trademark of the international style. You see very little posting up in the international game, but you see a lot of big men flying towards the hole.
Anyway, Giles with 11 points. Under a minute to play in the first. Kirby. That's a traveling violation. Just a 1-point lead for Powerade with 34 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. a big opportunity here for Smart Gilas to surge ahead. Should they make a basket on this play? Casio on the move. Ababou. Japeth for three in the lead. Yes, sir!
Japeth Aguilar now with 8 points. He's got 2 3-point baskets.
And a steal by Ababou against Gabe Norwood. 10 seconds to go. Casio on the move. 7 seconds remaining in the first. 5 seconds remaining.
He's got to be aware of the time.
Casio for three. Yes, sir! 1 second remaining. And at the end of the opening quarter, Smart Gilas surging ahead 24-19 at the end of the first period.
We talked about the 3-point shooting. That is part of Coach Raiko's patterns and system. And back-to-back 3-pointers giving Smart Gilas the lead at the end of the first period.
Ooh, gravy love, my gravy love. Wanna have you chicken and gravy love.
KFC gravy and the original recipe chicken. The more you taste, the more you love.
You're just so finger-licking good.
Powerade lets me play my game my way. Powerade. Sport is what you make it.
Icy. Creamy. Chewy. With chunky real bits. Treat yourself to the new KFC Crushers. Get crushed.
Start and say I think it's wonderful to see the spirit of Bayanihan. You have everyone coming together here, sports stars, businessmen, universities, and it's all to help our fellow Filipino men, women who've suffered. So I think it's a great feeling. It's good to combine sports and charity.
Your message to the victims?
My message to the victims is we're all thinking of you. We're working hard to make your lives better. Be strong, we're with you.
Kristen Kenny also tirelessly helping out all the typhoon victims. Apart from being a huge basketball fan, a huge sports fan here in the country.
I'll tell you, Ambassador Kenny is an inspiration to everyone. And I'm not just talking of Americans, Filipinos, I think the whole world. I think we need a lot more diplomats like her.
Meantime, Baguio with nowhere to go. Whistle is blown in by referee Boy Cruz.
And if that's on Giles, it could be number 3. No, it's Aldrech Ramos, who was in contention for the MVP honors in the UAP this season. Aldrech is from FEU.
Award, of course, going to Dylan Ababou of UST, was likewise on the floor here for Smart Gilas. Meantime, second free throw for Skyros Baguio.
And by the way, Baguio was the only double-figure scorer in terms of average of the Philippine team in the last FIBA Asia Championships. He averaged 11.5 points in 9 games.
Welcome to the second quarter. This game between Powerade and Smart Gilas. Migo Halili here alongside El Decano, Senor Quinito Henson, Leo Cruz and Patricia Bermudez complete are Los Cuatros Fantásticos.
Now you're seeing JV Casio's speed and play here. He's matched up against Winnie Arboleda, and if you play the stand-up game that Winnie likes you to play, you're not going to go far because Winnie's far too physical. So you see Casio using the screen, getting the shot, a nice screen by Giles, and you know, it's his speed. Got away from Willie Arboleda thanks to that pick, but it's also his speed that got him that shot.
Here's Kirby. That drop pass was intercepted by Giles. Casio on the move. Here's Aldrech Ramos.
A nice block, but he gets it back.
Casio. And he'll reset the table here with 13 on the shot clock. Again, Casio open. Runner is good. Second straight time that Casio and Giles conniving.
And Willie Arboleda is just a step or a couple of steps too slow for JV Casio this time. Once Giles sets up his pick, there's got to be someone moving around the pick to pick up the guy. Casio is just getting away with those easy shots and he's unmolested because Willie Arboleda is not quick enough and he's also getting trapped by that pick.
Here's Giles for three. Yes, sir!
Now Smart Gilas is pouring it on.
That's a two-pointer. Meantime, that dunk will not count. 6 unanswered points for Smart Gilas. And that opens up a big 9-point lead as Mark Baracael re-enters the game.
Well, Nico, earlier Patricia was talking about Coach Toraman's ultimate goal. That is, try to make it to the 2012 London Olympics. Of course, for you to be able to do that, you've got to win the FIBA Asia Championship. That will be held in 2011. And that's a hard road to climb. That's a big mountain to climb. To win the FIBA Asia Championships, you've got to beat Iran, China, Lebanon, Qatar. That's right. Because there is only one slot for Asia in the London Olympics, and that will go to the FIBA Asia champion. You know, it's not like in the last Beijing Olympics when China got an automatic berth. There are only 12 teams competing in Olympic basketball.
Willie Miller from the corner.
Oh, yes, sir. Right now, Coach Yang Giao has to have his big guns on the floor. I think he should be pretty pleased with the way they play defense, maybe 3/4 of the time in the first quarter.
Casio for three. Not that time. Casio picks up the loose ball. Here's Giles. Baracael, baseline. And he is fouled.
Hard foul there against Kirby Raimundo. By the way, Willie Arboleda replaced as Casio's defender. And Coach Yang Giao realizing that he needs a quicker player to put the clamps on JV Casio. There's Baracael from FAU. He was involved in some controversy during his UAE picker. He was actually shot, but he survived a gunshot wound to continue playing basketball.
It is a flagrant foul penalty one against Kirby Raimundo.
It was a hard tackle. Hard tackle, and Coach Yang Giao, you watch it here. Here's the move.
Well, that looked like a clothesline. That's right.
It didn't hit him in the neck, which was good. But, well, it was a desperation effort on the part of Kirby to stop him. I think Baracael was already airborne and he was on his way to the basket. The only way he could be stopped from scoring was what Kirby did. I don't think there was any intent to harm or to physically hurt. I think the only intent was to stop the shot. But still, the ruling will stick, a flagrant one. And under PBA rules, there will be a 3-minute sit out here for Kirby Raimundo on that flagrant. There will be 2 free throws and possession back to Smart Gilas after the free throws.
Baracael used to play for Far Eastern University. A lot of Tamaraos in the Smart Gilas lineup, along with Aldrech Ramos and former Tamarao Mark Adi Barroca. So 9:34 remaining here in the first half.
Now the players on the Smart Gilas team, I think, have committed to Coach Toraman and the SBP that they will stay with his team for 2 to 3 years, meaning they will not apply for the PBA draft.
Long two-pointer for Aldrech Ramos. That's the specialty of the house for that big man. And now it's a 10-point game.
You're seeing a lot of medium-range shots taken by the smart Gilas team. That's something that's very important in international basketball.
Here's Cyrus Baguio for three.
Nothing going there for Powerade from the outside.
Casio, open shot. Not that time, Baguio with a rebound. Powerade down by 10 points here in the second period. JRS from the corner.
And look at JV Casio pushing up the ball. Oh, no look pass.
But Gabe Norwood was there to foil the play, and the ball stays with Smart Gilas.
And JV Casio getting a round of applause from the fans. What school does that guy come from?
All I know is it's not Ateneo. Here's Chris Chu from Ateneo, and caught with an offensive foul.
I think that's a good call. Chris Chu coming off the turn, coming off that curl, kicked or stuck out his foot, trying to get leverage for the shot. You watch it here. Ito hinahabol siya eh. And then you see that kick, trying to get some stability in getting off the shot. So that is an offensive foul. Tama yung tawag.
And Chris Chu will sit down. Dylan Ababou takes his place. Ababou matched up with fellow Tomasian Baguio. Here's Norwood with a pull-up.
Oh yes. I think it's important that Powerade just establishes its kind of game. If they show patience in setting up their plays in the half court, they're going to get their shots.
Here's Barroca, 10 to shoot. Still an 8-point game here in favor of Smart Gilas. 5 to shoot. Dylan Ababou with nowhere to go. And Norwood slaps that ball away. And Barroca gets the ball back.
And that's right, they got a 24-second reprieve.
Here's Barroca. Ramos. Short. JRS with a rebound. A preemptive foul given up by Mark Barroca. Cyrus Baguio became one of the most exciting players in Tianjin.
Oh, without a doubt. His moves, his acrobatic moves, and the way he challenged the big men inside. Cyrus Baguio was a joy to watch. And someone who we really were proud of. Not that we were proud of the entire team. I think we were very proud of the entire team and how they performed in Tianjin.
Giles with the rebound. Barroca on the move. Barroca against Miller. Barroca fires. Norwood with the rebound. As we approach the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. There it is. Blocked by Giles.
Oh, what a move by Giles.
But Norwood in midair gets the steal, but there's a foul.
Giles showing his talent not only in offense but in defense as well. Right there. Blocked it and then he almost got the ball. That's hard to do when you block and you get the ball on the same jump in midair.
Here's Giles. Fires. Scores. Back to a 10-point lead for Smart Gilas.
Nice play run there for CJ Giles. Coming down the baseline and turning around for a shot. That's difficult to stop because he's on the move.
Giles now with 15 points. That play broken up by Barroca.
And you can also see that the Powerade team really hasn't had an opportunity to play as a unit, as a team. And earlier Patricia was mentioning that they only had 5 guys show up at practice. And these players are now practicing with their mother clubs in the PBA, so the system of play has really changed for them. They have to adapt now to the new system again of playing for Powerade. So it's difficult, not that we're making excuses for Powerade, but it's the reality.
Offensive foul against Aldrech Ramos, and that's his second personal. Ramos will have to sit down. Japeth Aguilar is sent back in the game.
And Giles has had no relief in this contest. He's got 2 personal fouls. He's got 15 points. and 10 rebounds.
That's about 3 shot blocks.
Right, yes.
2 shot blocks, actually.
But I really think that Powerade should challenge Giles a lot more inside. I mean, get this guy out of the game because he's doing it all for Gilas.
6 minutes remaining in the second period. Giles almost gets away. Here's Barroca. And Barroca says, okay, let's try and do something here with 12 on the shot clock. Barroca to Aguilar. Japeth on the move.
Again, the familiar play when you see the 2 big men go up high and try to set picks for the point guard. And then right after the cross, you see the big men go to their position to the low post.
We'll take this timeout. 10-point game in favor of Smart Gilas, 34-24.
Gravy love, my gravy love. Wanna have you chicken and gravy love.
KFC gravy and original recipe chicken. The more you taste, the more you love.
You're just so finger-licking good.
Deep in the heart of the South Pacific lies one of the most mysterious and isolated islands in the world, Samoa.
How to survive in an island? Don't get too emotional.
And I don't understand how I'm the weakest link at all.
Be ready to do the impossible.
Look at how Eric carried the weight. He made me so proud.
And trust no one.
I plan on making it as miserable as possible, making it hell for everybody.
Outwit. Outlast. Outplay. Survivor Samoa, Saturday at 7 p.m. right here on CS9.
Icy. Creamy. Chewy. With chunky real bits. Treat yourself to the new KFC Crushers. Get crushed.
This is a big collaborative effort, this Pinoy Basketball Kakampi event. Meantime, NBA just around the corner, kicking off on October 28th. The season starts with Cleveland facing Boston. Here on CS9 live at 7:30 in the morning.
NBA season coming up, PBA season coming up, and then of course you can't miss Manny Pacquiao trying to make boxing history by becoming the first fighter ever in the world to capture 7 world championships in 7 divisions when he takes on WBO welterweight champion Miguel Cotto. That'll be November 15 morning, Manila time. That'll be also exclusive on Solar Sports.
Meantime, Barroca making life miserable here for Miller. Miller handoff, toss, scores against Jason Ballesteros. Still a 34-26 advantage for Smart Gilas. Here's Barroca. Japeth back to Barroca with 11 to shoot. 5:08 remaining in the first half. Here's Ababou.
You know, this is an interesting lineup now that Toraman has on the floor because you're wondering who's going to take the shot. Well, that fellow's going to take the shot. And Aguilar, that's his 3rd 3-point shot. He's a 6'9" player who's got range. Giles is sitting down.
Finally.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say. Who's going to take the shot now with Giles sitting down? And Aguilar gave us the answer.
Here's Barroca. 4:31 remaining in the second quarter. Japeth. Back to Barroca, 9 to shoot. Smart Gilas up by 11 points. Ababou fires a 3. First points of the game for UAAP MVP Dylan Ababou.
Now this is what's going to happen with Toraman's unit. With Giles sitting on the floor, you've got a lot of the other players now trying to step up. And Willie Miller ringing the bell. That's a long 2.
Now let's send you over to Patricia Bermudez Hizon.
Powerade is going to try to get points off of transition and points off the pick and roll. Now Coach Yang addressed in their last huddle how they have to really avoid turning over the ball too much. He pointed out that they have to move the ball first and let the play develop. They got to have something develop, so they must keep the ball moving and show a lot of patience and avoid one-on-one. Back to you guys.
Well, missed by Miller. That shot was bothered by Barroca.
Miller went 1 against 3 that time.
There's Barroca again. Again, he steps on the brakes and then calls the play here with 15 on the shot clock. Ababou is in motion.
Screen coming, Sonny.
You know, interesting, Patricia's report talking about Powerade playing transition, and Willie Miller tried to get it. Tried to get the shot in transition, and Ababou scoring another 3-point basket.
There's James Yap connecting.
You know, on the contrary, I feel that Powerade's advantage is if they can play the individual man-to-man style. That's where I think they have a very, very big advantage.
Here's Miller. Dillinger on the move. Dillinger pulls the ball out with 2:39 remaining in the first half. James Yap. Oh, blocked by Ababou, but a whistle is blown. And for more on Dylan Ababou, let's send you over to Leah Cruz.
Thank you, Miko. Now, earlier I talked about J.R. Reyes. Now, Dylan Ababou's home in Quezon City was also flooded. The flood reached the 2nd floor. He says it was chest high, and that's his version of chest high, not mine. They had to climb up on the roof and transfer to a neighbor's house from there. Now, Dylan's teammates concentrated on helping out in relief efforts everywhere. JB Cash, for example, donated goods in De La Salle. And Chris Chu has been busy in Ateneo and Aratan Gym, among others. Now, we will take a break. We'll be back with the charity basketball games here at TSN.
Ooh, gravy love, my gravy love. Wanna have you chicken and gravy love.
KFC gravy and original recipe chicken. The more you taste, the more you love.
You're just so finger-licking good.
Randy's best lands on you.
The question is, what can't he do?
Give it to me.
My father's dying.
Icy. Creamy. Chewy. With chunky real bits. Treat yourself to the new KFC Crushers. Get crushed.
Firepower is what they call this match between Manny Pacquiao and Miguel Angel Cotto of Puerto Rico. That comes our way November 15, 2009, live via satellite from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. Pacquiao going for history, but he's up against a very, very formidable opponent. Cotto is a legit natural welterweight. He's big, catch weight is 145 pounds, but Cotto feels that he's going to be ready to fight at that weight.
Action continues here. The remainder of the second quarter. Smart Gilas in control, 43-31. Here's J.R. Kawali, face-to-face with Jared Dillinger. Ballesteros against Toss. Back to Kawali with 9 to shoot. Kawali to Barakael. Barakael makes his move. Gets hammered inside, and he'll take 2. The foul is against Sonny Toss, his 3rd personal. And the foul will send Mac Barakael to the line.
And Nico, during the break, we were talking about the advantages and disadvantages of Powerade. And one advantage we pointed out was they've got a lot of individual skills and talent because experience is on their side. So I feel that if they can force their half-court set to go one-on-one and play the 2-man game using the pick and roll, then that'll be to their advantage. Right now, you don't see too many team plays being orchestrated by Powerade, because I don't really think that this team had too much time to practice and get reacquainted. There you go, it's just one-on-one, but that's their advantage.
Carmen Raimundo with 3 points tonight. Under 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Here's Aguilar. Japeth was tagged with an offensive foul.
Could have been an offensive, could have been a traveling, but either way a turnover. And Japeth Aguilar hemmed in by that good defense of Powerade. Powerade has given up 5 3-point shots now to Smart Gilas, while Powerade has scored only 1 3-pointer. That's courtesy of Sonny Toss.
Here's Kirby. Oh, blocked by Ballesteros. Casio scans the floor. Inside, a foul and the basket.
Inside. Very, very. And CJ Giles' output.
Taulava is back on the floor for more on Japeth Aguilar. Let's send you over to Patricia Bermudez-Hizo.
Well, I was talking to him about his chosen team. He said he uses him differently here. Not to belittle Coach Yang's system, but in Gilas, he just feels he can move more. He's more versatile, and he fits. Now, apart from the Singapore game, they won by only 3 points. He says that this is really the test for him since joining Gilas 3 weeks ago. He knows he's got a lot of room for improvement. Now, on a side note, Japeth has actually donated his allowance of 100,000 pesos to typhoon victims through PBA. Back to you guys.
And a miss there by Japeth. Here's Miller, fires a pass. Dillinger on the move. Dillinger is fouled.
And getting good pace now on that ball. Jared Dillinger attacking the defense of the much smaller JB Casio. Got a huge advantage there inside. To take that.
And we have a timeout. Smart Gilas on top 40.
Gravy and original recipe chicken. The more you taste, the more you...
So think of it good.
A different kind of city needs a different kind of car. To restore order. Reclaim the big... Starring Anthony Anderson, Marlon Boulevard, and Cole Hauser. Trevor Cobb, Caden,
Icy, creamy, chewy, with chunky real bits. Treat yourself to the new KFC Crushers. Get
Ang malaking bagay para sa amin kasi every time natutulong ka, yun ang pinakamasarap na satisfaction ng tao. Sabi nga nila, mas maganda na yung ikaw yung tumulong kasi ikaw hihingi ng tulong. Sa ito situation, sabi ko nga nung nag-usap-usap kami, dito wala kami mga muka, wala kami mga pangalan, wala kami mga liga, wala kami mga kulay, wala kaming politics or anything. Dito lahat, Pilipino tayo. Kapatid natin nangangailangan ng tulong, kailangan natin ibigay kahit paano. Tutuwa ko, mga players, yung mga leaders ng iba't ibang liga, coming together for the first time. Hindi nangyayari ito eh. Dahil sa isang tragedy na tumama sa atin, nakita ng mga Pilipino na pwede pala tayong magsama-sama even for a moment.
Iboto. Sino for commissioner? Ay, commissioner na nga pala sa
Unity, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And everybody pitching in, including the announcers. Wala kami mga talent P dito, ah. Am I just speaking for myself? No.
I did not get the memo. Hindi, pero totoo yan. Totoo yan. We're all pitching in.
There's a free throw missed here by the Daredevil. Well, mahirap din ito because as Powerade is down by 11, they're playing with a depleted lineup. JJ Hildebrand unable to play, and you know he's the heart and soul of this team. Arvin Santos, Nick Penisi also not in the lineup, and both San Miguel players are in Singapore for an exhibition game against the Singapore Slingers.
4 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Unselfish play there by Japeth Aguilar, dropping the ball to former San Sebastian Stag Jason Ballesteros. And Ballesteros, I used to call him Gagamboy back in the NCAA. You can see why. His long tentacles really they can block a lot of shots.
He's got nice length. He's a 6'7" player and gives Coach Toraman a lot of size at the power forward position. Here's a full court press here by Coach Toraman. Well, he's unforgiving. He didn't want that last shot to be taken by Powerade, so he really put pressure.
So at the half, Smart Gilas is on top, 49-36. After a jittery start, they got their bearings here, and they're in control, up by 13 big points. In a moment, we'll get to talk to our select players at the end of the first half. And if Leah's ready, Leah, go ahead.
Alright, we're gonna talk to James Yap first. James, ano pang kailangan yung gawin in the second half para bumawi dito?
Kailangan kami magtutulungan sa defense dahil kung kasi ngayon na kami nakikita-kita ulit. So yung chemistry sa talking ng defense nawawala. So siguro yun yung mag-adjust kami sa second half.
Alright, thank you very much. We're also gonna talk to Japeth Aguilar if he's ready. And I do believe he's coming up behind me. Hi, Japeth. Now, earlier in the first half, you looked like you were having a bit of trouble with the size difference. Powerade, RP obviously had the advantage over there. As a team, what did you do to overcome that?
We just keep running our play. So we're just trying to be more patient. So we're just trying to get in the paint, and then whatever happened, we just try to improvise out there. So.
All right, thank you very much. Good luck in the second half. Miko and Kenita, back to you guys.
Japeth and the rest of Smart Gilas in command here.
Well, he was saying that they're looking to improvise. But I tell you, you can see that this team is a solid team. They have a purpose when they're on the floor. They're hitting the three-point shots. They're moving the ball around. They're getting their assists. They're getting the ball to the open men. And I think Powerade has a long night ahead of it, but don't count out the PBA pros. They've got experience on their side, and the fact that they are much better individually.
Back with more in a moment.
Ooh, gravy love, my gravy love. Wanna have you chicken and gravy love.
KFC gravy and original recipe chicken. The more you taste, the more you love.
You're just so finger-licking good.
In his return, the world that he once protected will defy him.
Did you torture Mr. Haddad? The agenda is to get to the truth. I don't think it is.
And only time will be at his side to bail him out. Catch Jack Bauer in the most season ever of 24 Season 7 on its new time slot, Wednesdays at 10 p.m. right here on CS9.
Icy. Creamy. Chewy. With chunky real bits. Treat yourself to the new KFC Crushers. Get crushed.
Welcome back to CS9's continuing coverage of Pinoy basketball, Kakampi, and right here at the half, I'm with PBA Commissioner Sonny. Sir, why don't you tell us about this very special event that you've put together for the benefit of Typhoon Ondoy's victims?
Well, I'm very happy to be part of this event, no? Kami sa PBA, kasi para sa mga kababayan natin tong naging biktima ng Ondoy. So, immediately when SBP contacted me, we said yes. And we're more than happy to be a part of it. I'm glad that the fans came out in spite of what has happened the past week or so. Ayos naman. Like Mr. Pangilinan said, even before we started, the event has raised more than 1.6 million. So that should go past 2 million by the time we end the night.
All right, are you happy with the turnout so far?
Yes, I am. I'd like to thank the fans, not only because of the noble reason while we're having this, but just to see the games. They're in for a treat.
All right, thank you very much, Commissioner. Stay with us right here on CS9. We will be back with more.
Randy's mess lands on you.
The question is, what can't he do?
Give it to me.
Father's dying.
Welcome back to CS9's continuing coverage of Pinoy basketball Kakampi. And this time I'm here at the HAP with the SPP chairman, Mr. Manny V. Pangilinan. Sir, how are you today?
Magandang gabi.
Okay, you guys managed to put together this entire event. How do you feel about it so far, about the turnout? How do you feel about the turnout of the entire event?
Quite good. Very happy with the turnout tonight. We didn't expect as many people, no?
All right, and do you have a message for all of the victims of Typhoon Ondoy?
Yun lang, parang tema ng gabi ito. Ang Pinoy basketball, nakikiramay, handa kaming tumulong at kakapin nyo sa Typhoon Ondoy, no?
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. All right, stay with us. We'll be back with more.
Deep in the heart of the South Pacific lies one of the most mysterious and isolated islands in the world, Samoa.
How to survive in an island? Don't get too emotional.
And I don't understand how I'm the weakest link at all.
Be ready to do the impossible.
Look at how Eric carried the weight. He made me so proud.
And trust no one.
I plan on making it as miserable as possible, making it hell for everybody.
Outwit. Outlast. Outplay. Survivor Samoa, Saturday at 7 p.m. right here on CS9.
Welcome back to the Araneta Coliseum. Smart Gilas leading here, 49-36 against Powerade-Pilipinas. Once again, good evening. Welcome to Pinoy Basketbol Kakampi, our charity fundraiser here inside the Big Dome. Nico Aileen here, El Tecano, Senor Finito Henson. And very impressive first half there by Smart Gilas.
Well, very impressive. When you go down all the players who saw action in the first half, starting with CJ Giles in the beginning, we thought it was going to be a one-man army that Coach Toraman has put together. But no, they showed a lot of good teamwork, and in fact they ended up the half with 15 assists compared to only 6 for Powerade. Three-point shooting, you see all the elements of the international style of game represented here by Smart Gilas. And you take a look at our halftime stats in field goal percentage, you see a much better percentage for Smart Gilas because they are moving the ball around, they're getting the ball to the open man, and proof of that is that they already have 15 assists as against 6 for Powerade. Three-point shooting has also been good for Smart Gilas. They've already converted 5 as against 1 for the Philippine national team. And in rebounds, because of Giles and Aguilar, they have been able to dominate inside.
Let's check the leading performance at the end of the first 2 quarters. James Yap leading the way for Powerade with 11 markers, and then for Smart Gilas, that twin tower combination, CJ Giles with 15, Japeth Aguilar with 14 points.
Well, the two titans of Smart Gilas combining for 29 points. They've also had the lion's share of the rebounds. And for Powerade, I think they really need to step it up. They're a step or two slower than Smart Gilas. Gilas using its speed, its youth, and its versatility to be able to get the job done so far.
We'll be back with the second half after these messages.
Last season, she survived hell.
Two Western diplomats visiting that country were assassinated the same day.
And this time, she must choose. Stay and live, or escape and die. La Femme Nikita, Season 2, weekdays at 9 a.m. right here on CS9.
Back inside the big dome, and he's starting the second. Let's send you now to Patricia Bermudez-Cizo.
I was just talking to Coach Yangao, and he was just reiterating on the problems that they had in the first half, which includes their defense breaking down at the end of their opponent's possession. They really have to focus on sustaining their defense, but offensively, they're really not even hitting their shots, and he says he really expected that because they were out of sync. Now, they just need to have a lot of patience and let their plays develop, as I mentioned earlier in the report. They've been forcing a lot of things and taking bad shots. Now they got to change up their defense to give them a different look, so they'll go zone and then they'll go man. And they want to be able to change their threes also because Smart Gilas is getting comfortable with their outside shooting, so they have to extend their defense. Their guys are not too familiar with Gilas, but Gilas is more familiar with the PBA player's style of play, so that's obviously playing to Gilas' advantage. Now on the Smart Gilas side, I was talking to Coach Raiko, and he assessed they had a slow start, but once they got the rhythm going, they started dominating the boards and got opportunities for easy points and outside shots, and especially on defense, they really played well in the first half. They just got to improve on their defensive transition here in the second half, and they'll ask Chris Chu and Mark Barroca to step up even more. Nico?
Well, thank you very much, Patricia. It's Chris Chu. And as Leah mentioned, Chris is also very busy helping out in relief efforts in both Ateneo and Xavier. And Mark Barroca, many of you are already familiar with the controversy surrounding Mark Barroca's departure from the FEU varsity team, but Barroca obviously feels very much at home here in the Smart Gilas program with Coach Raiko Toroman.
Excellent report from Patricia, talking to both coaches and Coach Yeng Giao, talking about how important it is to play defense against a team like this. And I think it's all about playing team defense, because obviously Smart Gilas is playing team basketball. You won't be able to play the kind of one-on-one type of defense that you're used to. So extending the perimeter defense, covering up for your teammates, especially since Smart Gilas likes to move the ball around, that has to be primary in the consciousness of the PBA players. And as far as offense is concerned, I think they need to be able to slow down this game, make it into a half-court game, and then go one-on-one, go to their deliberate plays, maybe go pick and roll and use a two-man game, and that way they are able to play to their advantage and not play to the advantage of Smart Gilas.
Powerade-Pilipinas will be staring at a 13-point deficit when the second half begins in a moment.
As far as Powerade is concerned, that's a manageable deficit. I think once they get their three-point shooting going, once their defense starts clicking and they're able to generate turnovers to create situations where they can score on the break, that 13-point lead is going to disappear quickly. But all of that depends on how tough they play their defense and how good their outside shooting can be, and how able the big men can dominate and overpower Giles and Aguilar down low.
Here's Ranidel to Dillinger. They start the second half with Kirby, James Yap, and Willie Miller. Meantime, Casio starts the second half with Chu, Giles, Aguilar, and Barakael for Smart Gilas. Here's Japeth to Casio, JB Casio to Chris Chu.
Powerade playing zone defense right now.
And Giles from the corner. And that's going to be a push against Barakael.
A good adjustment on the part of Coach Yang. That took away the inside position of CJ Giles, so he had to go outside to try to get a shot, and he missed. So that zone defense, let's see how far that can take Powerade.
Here's Kirby outside, Ranidel for 3, off the mark. And Kirby getting the rebound. Outside James Yap for 3. Rebound for Japeth. Here's Casio. Hand off, Chris Chu. Thought about it, back to Casio. Lots of time to shoot for Smart Gilas. Still on top by 13 points. Inside they go to Aguilar. And that's a turnover.
So Toraman's team having difficulty now with that zone defense, and Coach Toraman is screaming his head off, telling his boys, keep your wits together. Yeah, it's a sign of lack of maturity when you're not able to cope with an adjustment defensively of the other team. But that's also, I guess, an indication of the youth of this team.
Missed by James Yap. Giles with the rebound. Here's Casio. Japeth. Back outside to Casio. Here, 2 minutes having gone by here in the third period. Chris Chu for 3. Yes, sir.
That's 3-point shot number 6 now for Smart Gilas.
This is the biggest lead of the game for the moment. The Ocampo counters with that basket.
A nice move with the part of Dillinger. He's got to come closer to the basket to take advantage of that size mismatch against Chris Chu.
Rebound for Ranidel. Ranidel on the move. The Ocampo to James Yap. James Yap goes inside, outside Miller. Miller to Kirby. Kirby for 3. Chu with the rebound. Chu steps on the gas. Looks at Casio. Casio had the best of intentions, but Japeth was not in the right position to take that long pass.
What Smart Gilas' answer to that zone defense is to speed up the tempo. And you can see that with Casio and Chris Chu now stepping on the gas, you see a lot of errors on the part of Smart Gilas. They're not able to set up quickly. Oh, another play there set up for Dillinger, but he misfired. Kasi iba yung defender niya.
Twelve to shoot. Barako. Chris Chu open from the corner.
Now Coach Yang Yao must rethink his own defense now, because Chu is tearing that defense apart with his outside sniping.
Here's Barako from the corner.
And he can get it done too. So it's a torrent of 3-point shots now. Oh, not a 3-point shot. That's a long 2.
Here's Kirby. Ranidel. Miller. And he gets a reverse and Casio is down.
Casio's down. He's at midcourt. And I don't know what pain he's...
I think he got an elbow from Ranidel de Ocampo.
Okay, elbow's okay, so long as it's not a... Oh, he got it in the mouth. You watch it here again. I think when Ranidel swung around, there you go. That's it. That was the elbow. Smack on the face of JP Casio. Siguro with Casio being the rugged player that he is, oh, he like to lose teeth so long as you don't hurt your ankles, you don't hurt your knees.
That's right.
Or you don't hurt your hamstring.
8:10 remaining in the third. So far it's been all Smart Gilas in the early parts of the second half. Ball stays with Smart Gilas, and they'll have 12 seconds to operate with. Barroca is back on the floor here to replace JV Casio.
Coach Toraman always looking for 3-point gunners on the floor for his team, always giving, always making that option available for Smart Gilas. Again, the zone defense being played here by Powerade. You've got to have a tall man in the corners, because that's where Chris Chu likes to shoot. There he goes again.
Giles goes up without the ball, and the foul is given up by Willie Miller.
A succession of offensive rebounds there by Smart Gilas. That's asserting their superiority underneath. Now here is where Powerade is missing the services of a Mick Penisi or an Arwin Santos. Gives you a lot of length and size. Si Taulava still sitting on the bench here. Nice soft touch. Yeah, Reyes hardly got playing time in the first half.
Two out of two for CJ Giles. Giles had 15 points in the first half. Has a total of 17. James Yap slices through. Really bothered there by Giles. Here's Chu. Chu on the move. Barakael with a layup.
There's a fast break attack, and coming right back is James Yap.
Momentarily, it was a 20-point cushion for Smart Gilas. It's back to an 18-point lead.
Now remember, Smart Gilas is going to be playing as a guest entry in the PBA Philippine Cup. They will play 10 games in the eliminations, and those games will be counted on the PBA teams they play. Watch that fast break layup.
That's a KFC assist delivery of the third quarter. Magpa-delivers sa KFC. Just now 887-8888. KFC's finger licking good.
So tingin mo, Migo, maraming pahihirapan yata itong Smart Gilas, no? Mga PBA teams.
Because they really like to play it fast.
Yeah.
And they like taking those outside shots. And there's Japeth, and he's fouled by Kirby.
And it's different when you've got an import.
That's right.
A naturalized candidate for naturalization, CJ Giles, is a scoring machine. And of course, you also have Japeth Aguilar. Twin tower combination. I mean, that worked for the Houston Rockets 2 championship years in the NBA with Hakeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson.
I'm a Laker fan. I'm still heartbroken over that Ralph Sampson Chamba shot back in 1986.
No, Sampson didn't play for the Rockets in the championship series, did it?
Yes, he did. That's
why,
okay. That's why they entered.
They played 94. It wasn't 86.
86.
86.
86. Meantime, here's Miller. Asi's back on the floor, attempt to shoot. Dillinger on the move, sidestep beauty.
He's finding his angles now in his space. Dillinger with a total of 5 points. 4 coming here in the third quarter.
Barroca, Japeth, he'll take this. And Asi says enough is enough, and here's Miller. Miller on the move against Barroca. Ranidel to James Yap. James Yap from the corner.
Oh yes. Now you see more energy and aggression now on the part of Powerade. They're fighting for the rebounds. I mean, pride is at stake here. Pride and prestige.
James Yap with 15 points.
And Powerade no longer playing zone defense. They're going with a man-to-man. There's good defense.
Here's Miller. James Yap. Oh, Giles erases that shot. Here's Japeth.
3-on-1.
Barakael with a layup.
No transition defense from Powerade.
Mac Barakael with 8 points, part of the starting unit for Smart Gilas. It's a 63-46 game with Smart Gilas in control here. And that's going to be a foul against CJ Giles.
Only foul number 11, CJ Giles.
That's number 4 on Giles. And that's a danger that we were talking about earlier, Miko, when you have such an important player like Giles get into foul trouble. Then it's a big headache for Coach Toroman.
Asi against Giles.
Oh, he wants to take Giles out. And they doubled up on Asi Taulava getting the block. Oh, there's a foul. But Barako committing the foul, not Giles.
One of Giles was part of that play.
Yeah.
You know, Asi only had one thing in mind in that sequence.
Yeah, that's fifth personal foul. Oh, by the way, we're playing PBA rules here, so you're allowed 6. Yeah, but yung sinasabi natin, no, that individually the PBA players are bigger, more experienced. So now Asi Taulava going one-on-one against his matchup, CJ Giles.
Here's Barroca. Bent to shoot. Ababou left open.
That's 3 3-point conversions now by Ababou.
Dylan Ababou with 9 points, all coming from Rainbow Country. And now it's back to a 19-point lead for Smart Gilas, 66-47.
Now Toraman wants pressure here in the backcourt, delaying the advance of the ball into the hands of Asi Taulava. Taulava has to go out to get the ball and not low post. But there he is again. So nice patience, methodical play on the half court for Powerade.
4:15 remaining in the third period. Here's Barroca on the left side. Japeth is in motion. Aguilar against Ranidel. Japeth fires and scores.
Now he has range for a big man. He already has 3 3-pointers. Remember, we're playing with the NBA 3-point distance now.
Asi gives the ball up. Dillinger for 3. Yes, sir.
Yes. I see the adjustment also in the defense of Coach Toraman, and he's giving Giles some help now with the double team on Asi.
Dillinger, by the way, with 8 points in the game. Nice hustle there by Dillinger. Magyo comes in for James Yap. Winnie Arboleda comes in for Willie Miller. 3:31 remaining in the third.
You know, Coach Yengiao is looking for someone to explode. And if it's not James Yap and he's not on the floor, it could be Cyrus Baguio. Well, Dillinger has also scored 7 points here in this quarter. And this is what you like with CJ Giles. He fights for those loose balls, dashes outside, and kanina in the first half, you saw him dive for the loose ball.
CJ Giles reminds me of Marcus Camby. The way he plays defense.
That's true. He's got the body
Japeth with a steal. And
And Japeth with a yell after slamming that ball inside. His head almost touched the rim. What a leap. 19 points for the big guy.
That will probably never happen in my lifetime.
Not in 2 lifetimes.
And Dillinger getting swatted up by the defense, but he'll take 2 free throws here.
You watch his telegraph pass and the steal. And Japeth Aguilar, you saw how close his head came to the rim. Woo!
We'll take this timeout. Smart Gilas ahead, 70-52. Back in a moment.
In his return, the world that he once protected will defy him.
Did you torture Mr. Haddad? The agenda is to get to the truth.
I don't think it is.
And only time will be at his side to bail him out. Catch Jack Bauer in the most season ever of 24, Season 7, on its new time slot, Wednesdays at 10 p.m. right here on CS9. No limits.
It is the Sophie's choice for a dirty slut.
No holds barred.
That's interesting.
Let the good times roll.
Yeah, I agree.
See your favorite stars and famous celebrities rob.
Mr. Pacino.
This is the show where there are no second takes.
And she's right about that, correct?
Whether it's good
Did she choose?
or bad.
Clearly very drunk.
TMZ Weekend, Mondays at 6 p.m. right here on CS9.
Back inside the Big Dome for more action here in Pinoy Basketball. Kakampi nyo. Ito, kakampi nyo rin to. Leah Cruz. Go ahead.
The Tigers have been all over Metro Manila this past week, delivering relief goods, basically delivering water to relief centers and affected areas. Asking Taulava actually told me before the game started that his teammates were still delivering goods right before this ball game. Earlier today, they visited Red Cross Manila and Camp Aguinaldo, but his most memorable trip was when a few of them dropped off relief goods in San Mateo, Rizal by a chopper from Camp Aguinaldo. He said the scene is just unbelievable. He wishes he could help more, but I told him that he is still helping just by being here today. Miko and Quinito?
Actually, lahat po tayo, no? Lahat po kayong nanonood sa inyong mga tahanan, especially the ones who are inside the Big Dome who purchase tickets. Ayan, malaking tulong yan. Oh.
Everybody doing his share.
Kung nanonood naman kayo sa bahay, sana maging inspirasyon nito para tumulong na rin kayo kung hindi pa kayo nakakasparaan pa.
Yeah, so everybody needs help at this time. Earlier we were talking about the Twin Tower combinations. I got my dates mixed up. Houston Rockets never won a championship in the NBA with the Twin Towers, as you were mentioning, Nico. But you also mentioned, Nico, the Twin Towers combination in the NBA that won lots of championships. For the San Antonio Spurs,
yeah, Tim Duncan
and the Admiral.
And Malik Rose. Ay, sorry. David Robinson ba? That's going to be the 5th personal against CJ Giles. This is itong ating Pinoy Basketball Kakampi nyo Charity Games. A big collaborative effort by the PBA, the SVP, the PBL, Liga Pilipinas, the UAP, the NCAA, and the Araneta group of companies as well. Now Dillinger hits a 3.
Now he's the one.
The Powerade is looking for a spark here.
Well, he's the guy. I was saying that Coach Yengia is looking for someone to explode. Brought in Cyrus Baguio, but it's been Dillinger who's been red hot here in the 3rd period. He's got 11 points here in this quarter.
Here's Arboleta.
Now, by the way, CJ Giles picked up his 5th personal foul, went back to the bench, got high fives. They might think that it's over for him this night, but you're allowed 6 personal fouls in the PBA, so he can still play. I don't think he knows that. I think he's already resting on the bench.
Well, we'll be back with more action here in the 3rd after these. A minute and 37 remaining here in the 3rd. Smart Gilas on top 70-56. Let's send you over to Patricia Bermudez season.
Guys, bear with me as I acknowledge the help of some PBA players who have helped in our relief operations. You know, Sol Mercado and Gabe Norwood the very next day came with me to the Tumana Bridge, and they were one of the first people there. We were one of the first people there along with Banjo Albano. They seem to have given everything from their closet, including the shirts that they were wearing that day. The next day we had Tony De La Cruz coming over, Jeff Carriazo, Joe Devance, even Nick Velasco alongside their families and their wonderful wives. They all donated, packed, and we distributed goods, and we were in mud. We went through garbage just to reach the needy. Larry Fonashare, Ali Peak, and other PBA players and teams also helped out. Danny Siegel made a huge personal donation to the House of Refuge Orphanage, which I took in. Thank you to everyone. May they never tire. May they continue to be blessed and share their blessings. And thank you for giving me that opportunity. Miko?
Dumami sana, ha? Ang mga katulad mo.
Patricia.
Yes, mabuhay ka.
Mabuhay. The PBA players and how they've responded so positively to this hour of need.
7 seconds to shoot for Smart Gilas. Barroca fires.
Clock up another, is that a 3-pointer? Yeah, 1-2. But you see the distance scoring of Smart Gilas. Even if they're not getting the 3-point shots, they're hitting baskets from the long court.
That's a turnover against Powerade-Pilipinas. Sonny toss losing the leather. Under a minute to play in the third period. Japeth, handoff, Barroca. 10 to shoot. Here's Ababou. Ababou has been red hot from three-point country, but not that time. Ballesteros gets the offensive rebound, and Gilas will reset here. Japeth, back to Barroca. And now back to Japeth for three. And Ballesteros fighting hard to get the offensive rebound.
And they get another crack at it. Coach Toraman is saying, take the last shot. Don't give Powerade another opportunity.
8 seconds remaining. 7 seconds remaining. Barroca with the basketball. And he is fouled by Dillinger.
Powerade not in the penalty situation. And you see Toraman doing the countdown. He wanted to make sure that the drive would start with about 7 seconds on the clock.
So Smart Gilas hoping to write the last sentence of the third chapter.
You know, tama din yun, no? But with about 7 seconds, because if you're anticipating a foul, then you still have time to get off a shot. And they got off a shot, but it wasn't there.
At the end of 3 quarters, Smart Gilas still on top here, 72-58. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter after these messages. Po, narinig nyo si Noli Ayala, Executive Director of the Samahang Basketbol ng Pilipinas, Mr. Aldrech, Mr. Vargas, Anton Montinola, Mr. Manny Pangilinan, Mr. Michael Romero, Mr. Rene Pardo,
Ambassador Kenny over there,
first talking Tex head coach Chuck Reyes. A lot of basketball big wigs coming together to stage this memorable event.
And may I add, for the first time, some of those individuals may not really see eye to eye on certain political issues. But you take a look at the scoring here by quarters. Naging close, no, in the third period. Powerade getting outscored by only 1 point.
You know, that was the only reason why I agreed to work with you tonight. This is for charity.
Thank you very much for your generosity.
Meantime, here's Baguio. Pass intercepted by Ababou. Here's Casio. Casio steps on the brakes. Almost stepped on by Asi. Ballesteros with a miss. As he welcomes into the fourth and final quarter. Powerade begins the fourth period with Winnie Arboleda, Jared Dillinger, Cyrus Baguio, Asi Taulava, and Sonny Toss. Here's Baguio against Chu. Asi. Dillinger for three. Ballesteros clears the rebound. Ababou saves the ball. Aguilar is fouled by Toss.
And for Sonny Toss, that will be foul number 5. He scored 9 points all in the first half, but has not scored here in the second.
That's his first team foul for Powerade-Pilipinas. 2 free throws for Japeth Aguilar.
First free throw is good for Japeth. As Gabe Norwood returns to the floor to replace Jared Dillinger.
Gabe Norwood coming in for Jared Dillinger.
Japeth shooting 50% from the line. Has hit a number of three-pointers tonight.
You know, I can't remember what number his father Peter wore in the PBA.
I think it was number 13, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't 17.
No.
17 was John Havlicek's number.
We'll have to ask Fidel Mangono. No? He should know. I would wager it was number 13. 13. Meantime, here's Skyros. Kirby Remundo attacks, turns around, and misses. Asi with the rebound. He was fouled.
Second foul on number 8, Chris Chu. That's his fourth personal first.
Fourth personal against Chris Chu. And that sends Asi Taulava to the line.
Substitution, Aldrech Ramos and Japeth Aguilar.
And a substitution here. Aldrech Ramos comes in for Japeth Aguilar, who gets a big hand from the Big Dome crowd.
Two for two for Big Asi. Only 5 points for Asi in this game.
Here's Chu. 14-point lead for Smart Gilas, 74-60. 10 minutes remaining in the ball game. Casio makes his move, and Casio had nowhere to go. Baguio in the open court.
Now this is where he is most lethal. Oh my gosh, what a block! Coming from Ramos.
And here's Ababou. Outside Ramos, Aldrech Ramos. On the move, layup, no go. Ballesteros with a rebound, put back, no go. Here's Arboleda.
Oh yes, he will score. Nice change of pace there by the snatcher. And he go to the line for a 3-point play opportunity. Watch it here. Nice crossover. Couple of crossovers, one in between the legs.
Well, Powerade making headway here in the early parts of the fourth quarter.
It's just an 11-point deficit. Now Toraman, feeling the absence of CJ Giles on the floor. He's got 5 personal fouls. Oh, Ramos with an outside shot.
Oh, Ramos almost blocking that shot, but Baguio still had enough gas to put up a shot, and he will take 2 free throws.
That's his third 13th foul.
Third personal against Aldrech Ramos. And that is a 13 foul against Smart Gilas.
Oh, missing the free throw. Now back in the first half. Powerade shooting only 42% from the line. 5-12. Miserable performance. Smart Gilas 62%. That's not really too good either. I think the norm is to be able to shoot anywhere between 70 and 75% at least.
Here's Casio. Off the glass. And for Smart Gilas. Uh-oh, Jason Ballesteros is hurt. Maybe I think he's okay. No, he's okay.
But Smart Gilas now playing with 4 men. Now Ballesteros is getting in the act.
Here's Casio. They have to turn over. Just going over the gentlemen on the hard court. For Powerade, they have Norwood, Miller, James Yap, Taulava, and Raimundo. And here's Asi. Cross court, James Yap for 3. Short. And that ball ends up with Willie Miller. Willie Miller for 3. And Ababou with the rebound. Ababou is joined by Casio, Ballesteros, Chu, Ramos. And that's the 5 for Smart Gilas.
And this is a very important combination that Coach Yengia has on the floor. You talked about the combination of Smart Gilas. Right now, Coach Yengia has Willie Miller, Asi Taulava, James Norwood, James Yap, Raimundo. That's a very important combination on the floor, offensively.
Here's Norwood. Acrobatic shot. No success. Casio on the move. And the ball was snapped away. Here's Norwood. Asi. Norwood spins, and he'll take two. Second personal against Jason Ballesteros, and that will send Gabe Norwood to the line.
Again, a missed free throw here by Powerade. In the international game, it's important for you to score those free throws, especially if you're an undersized team like the Philippines. Every point counts. You're given an opportunity to hit a free throw, make the shot. Now Giles is back in. Now if we're playing under FIBA rules, we will not see Giles check in after his fifth personal foul.
$15-point game in favor of Smart Gilas, 80-65. Here's Casio with 15 to shoot. Aldrech Ramos back to Casio. Casio on the left side. Barako against Norwood. Barako to two to Giles. Giles to the basket.
Nice pass. You see the ball movement and the players getting a lot of touches before Giles went up for the shot.
Kirby picks up the ball. Here's James Yap. 7 minutes remaining in the fourth. James Yap skies.
Oh, yes. Nice individual effort there by James Yap. So you see now the contrast of how these teams are getting their points. You've got team play on one end. You've got individual ability on the other.
Pressing on the halfway mark of the fourth quarter. That's a tap out by Gabe Norwood.
10 seconds on the shot clock. 10 seconds to shoot.
Here's our KFC delivery assist of the fourth quarter. Magpa-deliver sa KFC. Just dial 887-8888. KFC. That's finger licking good. Here's Ramos.
And
he connects again. Aldrech Ramos with 7 points off the bench.
You know, the perimeter shooting of Smart Gilas has been outstanding in this game, to say the least. Again, in the international game, how important is that?
Here's Ramos. Casio for three. Oh, Barako with a tip-in.
Nobody home for that possible rebound on the part of Coach Yang. It's J.R. Reyes and Kirby Raimundo, the two big men on the floor now. And nobody's passing on the part of Powerade. And check out the assist story. Smart Gilas 26 assists, the PBA team 12. That's not even half of what Smart has accumulated.
Aldrech Ramos again. Not that time. Here's Norwood. Norwood on the move. Oh, challenged by Giles.
Wanted to slam it, but was that a foul? Was that a block? That ball just went out of bounds off a slam miss by Gabe Norwood.
There's Barako as we close it on the 5-minute mark of the fourth. That's a foul against J.R. Reyes. .507 remaining in the fourth and final quarter. Japeth to Barako, 8 to shoot, 6 to shoot, and now they clear out for Barroca. Mark Barroca against Willie Miller. Oh, he connects.
What a shot by Andy Barroca. Nice spin move. They gave it the clear, as you mentioned, Nico, and he got it done.
And Giles erases Kirby's shot, but the ball will stay with Powerade-Pilipinas.
And Smart Gilas still playing with a lot of energy despite this massive 21-point lead.
Well, here's our tally for our donations, cash donations amounting to over 1,600,000 pesos. Ticket sales close to 500,000 pesos. And in total, we have breached the 2 million peso mark. So yan po ang tulong na maibibigay ng ating charity games, Pinoy Basketball, Kakampi nyo. And would not have been possible without your support.
Everyone pitching in to make this charity event a big success.
Yung kalahati doon, talent fee pa lang ni Kinito yun.
Ano? Nakakagulat yung kasalita. Oh, look at that shot by Andy Barroca. And he's not finished.
No let up here by Smart Gilas with the 4 minutes remaining in the fourth. And Kirby misses.
That's another block shot coming from CJ Giles. Look at this, with this big lead, Toraman still has the Twin Towers on the floor playing at the same time. And Norwood fouling Barroca in frustration. Barroca's quite a player.
Well, let's find out about the Powerade game plan here from Patricia.
Well, assistant coach Kenneth Remdes still feels that the team defense is still left wanting. Now Coach Yang Yao just wants everything to switch everything on defense. He says Gilas is taking and making those outside shots, which is a huge concern. One of the big concerns is also they are getting hurt because of their own rhythm or lack of it. They just have to show patience again and get things going and get their plays developed. Back to you, Nico.
Well, that time, no boxing out. CJ Giles getting the offensive rebound, getting fouled. You know, Barroca's so much confidence taking that outside shot because he knows that he's got teammates who can clear the boards if in case he misses.
Lots of time to shoot here for Smart Gilas. Here's Barroca. Here's Swipe. 8 to shoot. And Barroca has the ball here with 7 on the shot clock. We send it to Giles. 3 to shoot. Giles fires and misses. Here's James Yap. Kirby misses the putback slam. Oh. Kahit si Yao Ming yata di maabot yung labas na eh. Error there for Barroca, but Smart Gilas still in control here. 1967. With under 3 minutes remaining in the fourth. Kirby Muto fires a 3. That's another rebound for CJ Giles. 16 rebounds for Giles.
Well, you see that the Powerade team really isn't running plays. In contrast, you've got Smart Gilas using patterns, and I guess it's no knock on Powerade. It's just that they didn't have enough time to practice. And CJ Giles connecting on the slammer, on the alley-oop. Oh, this is an exclamation point. And a strong statement that Smart Gilas is a team to watch in the coming PBA Philippine Cup.
Chris Chu locating CJ Giles. That's what you call an alley-oop.
CJ Giles, boy, he liked that shot. Ilan na ba nagagawa nitong Giles? 21 big points for CJ.
We'll make that 22. As we approach the last 2 minutes of the fourth and final quarter. James Yap. Kirby against Maggie Season. Maggie Season getting his first appearance tonight. Maggie Season playing out of the University of the Philippines. It's a foul against Kirby Raimundo. And Kirby Raimundo fouls out. After scoring 5 points. Ranidel de Ocampo takes the place of Kirby Raimundo on the floor. And that will send Chris Chu to the line. Of course, Chris Chu led Ateneo to the UAP Championship last year. And has launched a very successful TV hosting career as well.
Yes.
Endorsing a cavalcade of products left
I think
and right.
he's a man of many talents. But I think his heart is with basketball. And he's such a nice guy too.
Of course, he's from Ateneo. What do you expect?
Well, there are exceptions.
Another 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. And Barroca is up against J.R. Reyes, and Barroca will miss. Barroca got his own miss, and he misses again. Maggie Season on an offensive rebound.
It's just a dominating show off the boards here for Smart Gilas. They've just dominated the boards.
Get to shoot. 1 minute remaining in the fourth. Chris Chu setting up J.R. Kawaling for three.
More outside shooting coming from Smart Gilas.
There's J.R. Reyes. Rebound by Chris Chu.
You know, we've always heard in the NBA, you don't settle for the jump shots, you go for the high percentage shot. But with Smart Gilas, they are so comfortable with that medium range distance shooting that it's okay for Coach Toraman to have his players score from that distance. Will they look for 100 points? Oh, that's
basketball count.
Yes, but it won't count. That would have broken the century mark for Smart Gilas. PBA scored only 11 points in the fourth period.
Four seconds remaining. And that will do it. Smart Gilas winning convincingly 98-69 against Powerade-Pilipinas. CJ Giles doing damage on both ends.
So this battle between the present and the future, can we now say that the torch has been passed? Maybe not. However, the responsibility is now on the shoulders of Smart Gilas and the national team to represent our country in future international tournaments. So I guess you might say the torch has been passed. The next Asian Games, you will see this team represent our country as well as in the next FIBA Asia Championships.
That's the final score, 98-69. A huge win here for the Smart Gilas national team over the Powerade team, Pilipinas. And the Smart Gilas squad in prayer here at the end of this victorious conquest. And the winner of this game, Kinito, will be receiving a special award.
That's right, a Tony Chua trophy in memory of the former PBA chairman, the former Red Bull, Barako Bull PBA governor.
Currency of 50,000 pesos Let's give a round of applause.
And we really miss Tony. I mean, his sense of loyalty, his good-naturedness, his sincerity. He was a friend to everyone. I think the family of Mr. Chua is around.
And they'll be presenting the trophy to the winning team.
He has 3 daughters.
To receive the award Rogers General Casio check. Congratulations at Ababou natin ang Gilas National Team.
I'm looking very happy there, the Smart Gilas team. We did say that they have something to prove, and they certainly proved that they're for real. This is not just an overnight thing that some people thought of, but this is the real thing. This is the team that will be representing our country in future international competitions. Maybe all the way to the London Olympics, who knows? Boy, the way they shot the ball today, or tonight, was something to watch.
Mr. Manny D. Pangilinan, Volunteer Foundation, Mr. Mikey Romero, the Araneta Coliseum, Unicrom Incorporated, Solar Sports, Pagcor, and Chairman Efraim Genuino, Mr. Robert Uy of Toyota Iloilo, Nike Philippines.
Well, once again, congratulations to the Smart Gilas national team led by CJ Giles. There's CJ Giles, Japeth Aguilar. Twin power combination wreaking havoc tonight.
All night long, yes. But not only the twin towers, but I thought Coach Taraman did an excellent job rotating his players, getting good performance and quality minutes from his reserves. I think Andy Barroca, Chris Chu providing a great showing. JV Casio, let's not forget the man from LaSalle. We'll never forget him. I tell you, when you have this LaSalle Ateneo combination, it never ends. The whipping never ends.
Yeah, but you know, this is what this event is all about. You know, bringing people from different backgrounds together. Exactly. You're from LaSalle. I'm from a better school, and we're here together. We're here together.
I don't know about what you said, but we're here together. That I agree. About the better school.
Pero kami po ay natutuwa, no, at napakarami pong nagtulong-tulong, no, para matuloy itong proyektong ito. Ang dami pong bumili ng ticket para manood dito sa loob ng Araneta Coliseum.
People didn't ask for free tickets for this one. People bought their tickets.
Okay, now I think Leah is with our best player of the game. Leah, go ahead.
Yes, I am with CJ Giles. He's actually asking me what the aluminum right over here is. It's to illuminate our faces so we look better on camera. Now, you're a little shiny. I'm a little shiny too. But you've only been here for a few months. How have you adjusted so far? Looks like it's been going just fine.
I just adjusted, take it day by day, hour by hour. It's a new experience for me, so I just want to enjoy it to the fullest. So I'm not really worrying about the future. I'm not really worrying about down the road. I just want to just do the best thing I can right now.
All right, now you actually, oh, he's going to get in the picture, so I guess it's back to you guys.
And that ends the interview. Thank you, Leah.
That's what you call priorities.
Team muna, diba? Team muna bago sarili.
That's right. CJ Giles giving up his opportunity to shine in the limelight to be with his team for a picture. All right.
That's commitment.
Okay, that's teamwork.
Okay, we hope you can join us for the opening of the 35th season of the PBA. And it's just around the corner.
Oh, there's just so much to look forward to. I think a lot of players have moved teams in the PBA, and I think that makes for a very dynamic league. By the way, CJ Giles just came back for another shot of the interview, but he was turned down by Leah Cruz. That shows him. Hey, but the PBA, a lot of new players coming in, the rookies, and then the player movements. Dennis Espino with Coca-Cola, Arwin Santos with San Miguel. I heard Mark Isip has signed up with Talk and Text. So on down the road, just so many changes. Rico Villanueva is with Ginebra, that's right. And Mark Aguilar is going to be back after not having played the entire season for Ginebra, of course. And Danny Siegel, I think, will be back for San Miguel. Boy, there's so much to look forward to.
And the most important thing, Kinito, I'll be working again with you.
All right. Lasal and Ateneo working together for the country.
Oh, dahil Pinoy Basketbol, kakampi nyo. Okay, again, PBA opening just around the corner, so we hope you can join us for that here on CS9 and BTVO. Are we taking a break? Yes, we're taking a break. We'll be right back. Oh no, that's it. Thank you for joining us. This has been Pinoy Basketbol. Kakampi nyo. Earlier, the PBA Liga team defeated the UAP NCAA Selection 85-72. And moments ago, Smart Gilas defeated Powerade-Pilipinas 98-69. For Leah Cruz, Patricia Bermudez season, my partner El Decano, Senor Kinito Henson, I'm Nico Alili, saying good night. This has been a special presentation of CS9.
Nobody asked for this to happen. Nobody asked for their pain. But we do ask for your